Hey guys, welcome back to Motorcycle Maintenance Channel. On this episode, we're going to show you how to replace the radiator fluid on an R6 motorcycle. But we're not just going to use radiator fluid, we're going to use water wetter, which will help the bike run a little cooler as well as make it race ready for when you're going to do your CMRA track days. Stay tuned. Alright guys, we're going to change the radiator fluid on this bike. There's a couple of ways you could go about it. If you're in a hurry and you didn't really care about getting radiator fluid all over your plastics, you could drain the radiator fluid from this bolt right here. There's a sealing washer behind it, and it would just get all over your plastics and probably fall out the bottom here. And then you can remove this top piece, which you unscrew these two 4mm bolts, and you can get to the radiator cap and your reservoir tank from right here. And you can do the whole thing like that, and you get radiator fluid all over the side of your bike. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to undress the motorcycle, but you could do it that way. So I'm going to start, since we already had this piece off from a prior episode. It's just these two 4mm Allen key bolts, and you just pull that off. I'm going to take that off. But you don't have to start with this piece. And then I'm going to start unbolting the rest of them and undress the bike. There's one. And there's a hood scoop that has to come with the fairing. those pull tie ones. There it goes. There we go. So don't take these two out. Take out the plastic clip that holds this to the radiator for easier removal. Alright, and then I'm going to disconnect it here. This is your blinkers. If you guys want to watch our flush mount episode, I suggest you check it out. But these blinkers. Alright. Yay, it came off. Now, how to remove Yamaha R6 fairings without instructions. Start unbolting stuff. There we go. And it's a neat little scoop too. It takes in air and blows it through this hole. And it takes it, where does that hole go? Right here into the top of the engine. So, it's kind of cool. Alright, I'm going to take this bolt off here. Again, you could probably do it with this little fairing piece in place. But then you guys can really see what's going on under here. So we're going to take it off. Alright, there you go. Your radiator and your reservoir. Right there you go, using the blue one. Now that she's so expertly undressed, go to emptying it out. First thing we'll do, we'll open our reservoir lid up a little bit here. We'll loosen our radiator cap. There we go. And we'll get something to catch all the fluid that's about to pour out of here. So remember, what you want to do ideally is unscrew this bolt here. And there's a copper sealing washer behind it that you have to replace with a new one. Now, that's what you want to do. It's like 12 pounds of 12 Newton meters to put that back in, or somewhere about there. We don't have that, and that's okay too. Just because you don't have that washer doesn't mean that the job can't be done. So what we're going to do is we're actually just going to unbolt these here from the water pump, these hoses, and just let all the radiator fluid drain out of there into this bucket. And then we're just going to connect them right back up again, thereby saving us a trip to get this washer. Now if you're a purist and you want to do it the way Yamaha tells you to do it, well really the way most manufacturers have this sealing washer, you're going to drain it from right here, and then you're going to replace this bolt with a new factory sealing washer. Like I said, different way. This is a messy job. right. There she is. All right. There. Another way to drain the radiator fluid. Now, that's done. Let's see here. Yep. So we're going to want to unbolt these two things here, and we're going to drain everything that's in the reservoir as well. And see, to do this properly, you could have done it the way I told you at the beginning, but to do it properly, you would have to take off the plastics if you're going to flush your reservoir as well. And those are just 10 millimeters. All right. That's kind of dirty in there too. All right, so we got this far. Now we're going to do what is called a flush. We're going to run some, just a gallon or so of distilled tap water through it, just to flush out whatever the debris and nasty stuff. And we'll do the same thing through here. Make sure it's not just hose water. You want to use distilled water, because hose water messes up the aluminum parts inside your radiator. Look, it comes out blue. It goes in clear, comes out blue. It's a miracle. I'm gonna go ahead and close this tube. It's just gonna fall out of that one. And force the water to go the other way through the system by closing this side of the tube off. Because if you leave this one tube hanging open like that, the water just comes in and comes right back out. And you want to flush the distilled water through the whole system. You get all the blue water to stop coming out. Or green water. Yours might be green. Oh no, the blue is better, the green's better. It's starting to come out kind of clear now. I don't think it'll ever totally come out clear. I mean, maybe if you're really anal about it, buy like $10 worth of distilled water. But I think just getting it good enough is pretty good. Because, I mean, ideally, you should be doing this every 12,000 miles. Well, according to Honda. I don't know what Yamaha suggests. But I doubt it's anything too far off from 12 to 16,000. So we're just going to put this in here as well. And just rinse that out. Ooh, see how dirty that is? That's gross. So we just rinse it out. It's just Cobra throwing the cat across the room. Alright. There we go. It's flushed. Now we're going to make our solution. Now, and remember we said we're going to be using water wetter, which is supposed to help make the engine run cooler. I like to shake it a little bit before we use it. According to the bottle, it says 3 to 4 capfuls per quart. There's 4 quarts in a gallon. That's what we're going to do, because that's what it says on the bottle. I know some guys like to just put nothing but pure water wetter in here, you know, or whatever mixture they've concocted, and it's the best ever. But we're just going to do what's on the bottle. You guys are welcome to do it however you want to at home. Or you could just put regular 50-50 coolant back in there, honestly. So, take that off, and looks like we need some room, so we're going to make some room in there. Might need to make some more room. Oh, that's the good stuff. Alright, that's good. Remember, distilled water, not spring water. So, we need 3 to 4 capfuls per quart. There's a little bit under 4 quarts in here now. So I'm going to just do, let's say 16 capfuls for the gallon. Minus 1 because of what I drink out of it. So, oh shit. 1. Well, this is real pretty stuff. 2. 3. 15. So, I think we can all agree that's 3 to 4 capfuls per quart. Put this aside. And this is now our new radiator fluid. And if we want to go race this at the racetrack with this stuff in there, we can, because I guess it's not as slippery as coolant when you wreck. Alright. That's our mixed solution. Before we pour that in though, we need to put our reservoir back on and connect our hoses. Now, for those of you guys who went and bought the sealing washer, you will be just installing the screw, tightening it to torque, and using the sealing washer, the new sealing washer. But for those of us who didn't do that, this way works too. Thus saving ourselves a sealing washer. I guess one of the bad parts of doing it this way though is like when you flush it with the sealing washer, you can just cover this with one finger and then let all the fluid out, cover it, let all the fluid out, which is kind of better. But this way we save having to use a sealing washer. Oh, also, like if your hoses are dried up or rotted or cracked, when you go to take them off this way, they'll crack open and then you'll have to get a new hose as well. These hoses are in pretty good shape. But honestly, if you're pulling off your hose and it's cracking, it's a blessing that you found it at that time, because it's just a matter of time before it leaves you stranded or overheats your engine because it cracks. Notice I didn't put the cap all the way on. That's because that was on purpose, because we got to put fluid in there. So I put it on just to take it off again. Now we start the fill process. Little things. Now when you first do this, it's okay to fill it up even past the max line, because it'll probably suck some out of there. We'll do it just a little hair past the max line. How I do it anyway. If you just want to do it up to the max line, that's fine. But I would suggest going that high. Okay, then we're going to put a little bit more in here because some fell out. Now, we're not done topping it off yet because there's air bubbles in there. And to get the air bubbles out, we have to turn the bike on and do what they call burping it. And so we're going to go ahead and turn it on. Wait about a minute or two. There you go. Oh, shit. when I rev it, the water level falls, and it's sucking the water through. That's what they call snapping the throttle. See, those air bubbles are coming out. And that's what we want. We want the air bubbles to come out. Your neighbors aren't going to like this. Especially if you have the M4 Street Slayer exhaust. I mean, if you can't change your radiator fluid at home, where can you change it? Kind of rock out the bubbles a little too. Oh, look at that. That was a big one. Now at some point it's going to start getting real hot, start throwing the fluid out. Oh, there's another big one. Fluid's getting hot. We're approaching 160 degrees. We go ahead and cap her off right here. All right. Now she's full. Now we're going to go ahead and just let her cycle through, kick on the fans, make sure she doesn't overheat. Starts overheating, we know we have an air bubble. If that happens, we're not going to freak out though and open this up, because if we freak out and open that up, it's going to spray in her face and we're going to be like, oh my God! We're going to have to wait till it cools down. Right now though, it's doing its thing. Everything looks good.
Just like contrast, the bright lights.
To the dark screen? Yeah.
I just need to get a not a split helmet.
Fans are on. I don't think they changed your fluid when you bought the bike. It looked pretty. It didn't look like just fluid that only had 3,000 miles on it. $205, fans are off.
Pretty quick though.
201. 199. And we stopped getting bubbles. I think she's good. I'm gonna call it, Jim.